Hello, this is Opinion Radar. And if you've ever scrolled through Instagram or TikTok and fallen in love with those cozy, handcrafted vibes, think chunky blankets, cute amigurumi, or handmade gifts that feel like a hug, you're not alone. I've been totally inspired by the handmade movement lately, but honestly, I didn't know where to even begin. That's when I stumbled across the INSCRAFT Crochet Kit, a little bundle that promises to turn total newbies into stitchers one loop at a time. Priced at just $25, it's more than just a kit. It feels like an invitation to slow down, create something with your hands, and maybe even rediscover the joy of making something real in a world full of screens. I've been putting it to the test over the past few weeks, and whether you're curious about crochet or looking for a thoughtful gift, this review is for you. Let me tell you how it all started. So I've been wanting to get into crochet for the longest time. Everyone's making these adorable handmade gifts, and I'm just over here with zero skills, intimidated by all the tools and yarn types. That's why I grabbed the INSCRAFT Crochet Kit. It just seemed like the perfect little starter pack to dip my toes in without going all in on expensive supplies. And honestly, it delivered. It comes with everything. 18 skeins of yarn in super fun, vibrant colors, a set of ergonomic hooks that actually feel comfortable in your hand, stitch markers, a row counter, scissors, a measuring tape, and even a user manual that breaks down the basics. There's also this cute canvas tote that's not only stylish, but seriously practical. Everything fits inside, and you can see what you're grabbing without unzipping the whole thing. It's like a little crafting command center. And as someone who usually loses every little thing, this kind of organization is a total game changer. One of the things I instantly loved was how beginner-friendly it is. The user manual is such a nice touch. It explains stitch abbreviations and even how to read crochet patterns, which sounds simple but is everything when you're staring at a bunch of verses and XS like, wait, what am I supposed to do here? There's also a QR code that leads to beginner YouTube tutorials. I didn't even realize it was there at first, but when I finally scanned it, it was like someone handed me a personal coach. I ended up making a few little coasters and a tiny flower poppet, nothing fancy, but huge wins for someone whose first attempt at a chain stitch looked like a noodle with commitment issues. The colorful yarn totally inspire me, honestly. I wouldn't have picked neon pink or electric blue for myself, but seeing them together made me want to try bolder projects. It's perfect if you're into little handmade gifts, stocking stuffers, or cute decor pieces. But let's keep it real, there are a few drawbacks. The yarn is definitely on the thinner side, and that took some getting used to. A lot of the tutorial videos I watched used chunkier yarn, so my tension was all off at first. It also frays pretty easily. One time I was trying to undo a few stitches, and the whole strand started splitting. Super frustrating. If you're aiming to make a big blanket or a beanie that actually fits an adult, this kit's yarn might fall short in quantity and thickness. I totally get that this is meant to be a starter pack, not a professional supply bundle, but it's worth noting. That said, I've seen videos, shout out to crafty YouTubers, on how you can double or triple the thin strands to make them thicker, which actually works surprisingly well. So while the yarn isn't the highest quality, it's still usable, especially when you're just learning and won't mind a few imperfections. The tools, though, I'm really impressed. The crochet hooks have these soft, rubbery grips that make a huge difference, especially during longer sessions. I have this tiny injury in my hand from an old sports thing, don't ask, and my grip isn't what it used to be. But these hooks don't hurt my fingers after 20 minutes, which is more than I can say for cheaper plastic ones I've tried before. They feel sturdy and well-made, and having multiple sizes means you can experiment with different patterns. I also love the stitch markers and row counter. Yes, people, a little plastic counter that helps you keep track of rows is life-changing when you keep losing count because your dog walked by. The whole accessory set feels thoughtful, not just thrown in to bump the piece count. Everything has a purpose, and it's all neatly organized in a case or bag. It makes crocheting feel way less chaotic and more, intentional. I've taken this kit with me to coffee shops, family gatherings, even on short road trips. The tote is lightweight and holds everything so well. I've had moments where I just needed a creative break, like when I was waiting for a friend or killing time at the park, and pulling out a little crochet project actually calmed my brain. It's become a quiet form of self-care, honestly. And a lot of people have asked me about it. Where'd you get that cute bag? Is that your first project? It's sparked conversations and even inspired a friend to start learning too. For $25, it's such a low-risk way to try a new hobby. Even if you end up sticking with just a few small pieces, you're not out a ton of money. But if, like me, you catch the crochet bug, this kit gives you the foundation to grow from. Overall, I'd say this is a solid choice for anyone curious about crochet, especially beginners, teens, or anyone looking for a thoughtful gift. It's not going to replace high-end yarn or specialized tools, but it's not trying to. It's a fun, colorful, well-organized starter kit that makes learning feel accessible and kind of joyful. The yarn has its flaws, but for practicing stitches and making small treats, it works. The tools are comfy and functional, and the extra goodies, looking at you, row counter, make it stand out from cheaper kits. I still plan to buy bigger skeins and my favorite colors eventually, but this gave me the confidence to actually start. And honestly, that's the hardest part. So if you've been hesitating, wondering if crochet is for you, grab this. Make a wonky coaster, laugh at your lopsided flower, and just enjoy the process. Because honestly, that tote full of possibilities, totally worth $25. If your crafting dreams start with a little yarn and a big dose of courage, let this be your sign. Grab the kit, grab your hook, and stitch something silly. And hey, if you love this little vibe, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the cozy chaos. Let's build a community where every loop and mess is celebrated. Because crochet is better together.